Hello everybody, I am here to do a first impressions look at the deck for Wonder Walking. It's very surprising that this is even still wrapped because this is one of the Kickstarter projects that I backed last year. I believe it was the end of the year though. This isn't one of the earlier ones that I backed. I want to say it was in the fall, and I know that I think it was due, or we thought we were going to have it by February, March, April. We're kind of nearing the end of May, so about 3 months behind. I think that at least my limited experience with Kickstarter, you should always just add at least 3 months, and maybe we should just add 6 months on to whatever date they say. And that's fine. I think things happen, and she was very communicative, and there was extra cards that were added in and everything. So I thought the process, in my opinion, the process went very, very well. So this was a deck. I'll put her Instagram name down in the description box, as well as I think you can still pre-order these for after everybody, obviously Kickstarter has been fulfilled. So I'll put a link for that below. But I don't know how I found her. If somebody pointed out her channel, for some reason I saw a couple of her cards that I think it was on her channel that she put on her Instagram feed, and I was like instantly like, I have to have that deck. But it was out of print, so the first run had been and gone. I don't know how long it had been out of print, but it was not in print. And so I started following her because I love her art. Very watercolor. It is watercolor, but very flowy in movement, just what I love in watercolor. And so I started following her Instagram feed, and then eventually she put this up for another Kickstarter for the second edition of it. And well worth the wait. I'm so excited about this. So packaging is fabulous. It's got the sticker, it's got the twine, it's got a little card, it's a wrapped package. I mean, again, is all this stuff necessary? No. But is it, does it make waiting for Kickstarter worth it? Yeah, it does actually. It's just the whole experience of it. I mean, look at this little card. Dear Kelly, thank you. Hope this brings you many magical adventures. But from Amy. That is awesome. I just love that. Again, I love her artwork. So it says Exploring Enchantment, AmyTwan.com. Love that. That's gorgeous. And then we have the sticker on the back, obviously. We have the deck, and obviously it is plastic sealed. It's a magnetic closure, which I love. The back says, a deck for connecting to nature and creativity, for the wonder-seeking creative soul, the poet, the artist, the eternal child. 48 walking cards and a pocket field guide. And the website is www.adeckforwonderwalking.com. Has a copyright that's nice, and it's got that gorgeous matte. I mean, absolutely. This is that perfect silky matte. And look, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. This is so vibrant and so stunning that I just want to set this. I actually want to set this on my art table shelf versus my tarot table, my tarot cubicles. That's kind of how I feel about it. Let's just put that over with my art stuff. Beautiful gold embossing, a deck for wonder walking. Gold here, magic awaits. Like, this is just so awesome. And then it has that magnetic closure here. And opens up and says, an invitation to the human experience. I love that. So it has, now she has a full guidebook. I didn't purchase the full guidebook. I think that can be gotten separately. I have to check into that. I don't tend to go back to full guidebooks too much. So having something that gives me sort of the basic idea, again, this paper is gorgeous. It's like the cover of those gorgeous Llewellyn books I used to love. It's silky, matte gorgeousness. And so on one side, it has for beginning explorers, for seasoned explorers, how to use the deck. It has the breakdown. So there are suits: the physical realm, the creative realm, the inner realm, and the influence realm. The secret garden, truth finding, magic making, and wonder and curiosity. And so, for example, for the physical realm, which is wonder and curiosity, it lists the cards, and then it talks about how these cards invite physical, tangible exploration of our real world with our senses, encouraging us to be more awake and observant. Use them to deepen your adventure out in nature on a city walk, whether familiar or strange. Combine these cards with other realm cards to inspire creative observations and ideas. So this is really meant to actually get you out into the world. That's why she calls it the deck for wonder walking, is that its intention is to get you out and exploring the world around you, not just the actual cards. So it has that, and then on the back it does have broken into their suits, each of the cards with a idea of what it looks like a question. Some of them have a question. Let me grab my glasses. These are small print, but it's because it's a small pamphlet. I appreciate having these little pamphlets. So for the creative realm, for example, we have magic making, and the first card is first love. It says love at first sight, and always infatuation. How will you express what captured your heart? So sometimes there looks to be like a little bit of a idea of what the card is, and then a question or a statement about what you could do with that. So for example, spirit of place in the inner realm, a physical inhabitation, a belonging, a memory. What is the spirit of this place, whatever place you're in, and what does it mean to you? So these types of things, encouraging you to explore, encouraging you to think, encouraging you to journal. And this is just a look at what the four suits here: the physical realm, the creative realm, the inner realm, and the influence realm. And then it has a little mini travel log. If something comes to mind, a favorite spread, just kind of put in some little notes for making it yourself. So that's what we have here. Again, it's really beautiful. The cards themselves, to me, I felt like I was going to be able to just use them as with the beautiful images and the keyword, as is what I usually do with Oracle. But then this does give you something to key into if you're kind of like, I'm not entirely sure what to do with that. So that's stunning. Then we have obviously the deck with a gorgeous gold ribbon. So obviously we can pull up the cards, and the back little message in the back, which I always love to see, says walk in wonder, which is gorgeous. I love those kind of touches. Okay, let's set this over to the side. Stunning, stunning, really a perfect box. There is absolutely nothing to say about this other than that it's just sheer perfection. So the cards themselves, they are not edged on the side. I will possibly do them maybe in the matte gold. We'll see. We'll see. The jury's still out on that. I'll think about it. Cardstock wise, it is again silky. Oh, look at that one. Discernment. Definitely the print, and I knew this because I'd seen the cards, I'd seen the first deck pictures and things, so I knew that the font was very small, and because the backgrounds are stunning watercolor washes, I knew that there were going to be times in which it was a little bit difficult for me to read. Again, always qualify by saying I don't have the greatest eyesight. I do have my reading glasses on, and I did have to look just where it starts to get lost in the light. But I was aware of that, and I think that as you work with the cards, you would just get comfortable knowing what that is. That is a stunning card, but we will zoom in and look at it. So, stunning, beautiful, silky cardstock. We'll see how it shuffles at the end. I believe we got to vote on the back. I absolutely love the labyrinth here. I can't tell you what the backing was on the first edition. Okay, so I'm going to move this up here and zoom in here. Okay, I zoomed in tightly so that we could see the beauty of the cards. So you can tell, I assume right away, that there is a element of natural water. She really works with the medium of watercolor to that fullest natural flow, and then pulling out what she wants to pull out in a beautiful way. So the first card we have here is portals, and it's almost like this is a giant tree and there's a portal to another world there. I just love that. I have no clue. I'm going to say this right away. Yeah, no clue what that says. Actually, I don't even know the word, which I love. Pareidolia is seeing faces or scenes in unexpected places. Ah. So this is where, you know, and this is something that I often say to do with watercolor when you have new color paints, is to pick two colors and swish them together and just then let it dry. And I've got a ton of them that I do. I just use little cards, little pieces of paper, swish two colors about, throw some salt into the mix, and look and see what is the scene there in place, right? What is it that what you can see there? Can you see something start to form? So for me, I see sort of ocean water splashing up here. I see sort of a dune. We get sand dunes, beautiful dunes in Michigan. It looks like it's on the side of the dunes with grass growing up there. So I see this beautiful beach scene. Somebody else might see something different. Somebody else might see a face here that I don't. I can kind of see the shape of the face if you turn this sideways, like it's laying in the water. But mostly I see a beach scene, which I am also right now really like needing to get to the water, and so that doesn't surprise me. So that we learned a new word. Well, I did. I didn't know this word, and I couldn't read it, but now I'll know. Pareidolia. Pareidolia. Seeing faces or scenes in unexpected places. Love it. Oh, see, this is so gorgeous. The fairy world. Yes, and yes, and yes. Imagine magical fairy worlds in your nature encounters. What would your childlike wonder unveil? Oh, that is gorgeous. Yes, 100,000% yes. Look at how beautiful that flora is. Again, such a wash, but then here you can see the beautiful. She really works with her washes. It's one of the things that I absolutely love, is that she works within the paint washes to then kind of naturally coax out what's there. And it's just a beautiful form of painting or style of painting that speaks to me highly. Oh, this is gorgeous. So this one is height. So this is like about being up on a hilltop and seeing sort of out into the forest. You seeing what you can see, the view that you can see if you get up above things. Oh, yes. Beautiful story. See, look at the birds. Like, this is such a beautiful natural wash. But we do see this bird swooping over here. You can almost see like, oh, what is this? Is this a little hut or house up here far, far away up in the woods? Is this a beautiful dark waterfall that's going on? There's just so much to explore in these types of paintings. And just the concept of story is amazing. Ooh, look at this. Now, I will say this is not in order. So far it has been, but either I'm missing a card. No, okay, they're just out of order. Phew. Oh, look at that. I mean, these images just slay my heart in the best of ways. So, disruption. I mean, look at this. I mean, it looks like all of these planets are moving, like the planets are just out of whack and movement. You have a ship, almost so it looks like it's coming out of the disruption in some way, but you just get this feeling like there's a lot of energetic chaos here, which is pretty awesome. Then we have synthesis. Synthesis is the practice of merging your senses. Can you relate two senses today? How can you entwine two different senses? What is a way, in the reading that you're doing, what is a way in which two energies are coming together in some way? Whether that's good or bad is, going to be questionable. Stunning. Here we have discomfort. Looks like a little bunny in a little space right here. The discomfort probably feeling is that sense of feeling vulnerable. Oh, love it. Look at the color tone here. This says first love, so we've kind of not going in order. Okay, so we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4 more in the physical. Let me look real quick. Okay, I'm back. Now, they were weirdly somewhat in order, but then there were cards all over. So then I just really wanted to make sure that I had them all. So I quickly put them in order and tried to squint and just look at the name, so that I didn't see too much or try to pay too much attention. But I did want them in order of the suits, so that we could see them in their suits. So again, we have discomfort, which again, I just sense that sense of vulnerability there. We have a beautiful landmark here. We have this tree that somebody can say, go out to that old tree that's on the hill, that doesn't maybe grow any leaves anymore, but it just stands out as this landmark. I love that. Roots, very interesting, because this I do feel watery, but we do see all of these roots forming down here with the paint. And I love having a roots card. Gorgeous notice. Like, pay attention when a bird just flies in front of you. Like, that's an oracle. That is a message. Those are my favorite kinds of things. Like, pay attention and observe what's happening around you. And it's a stunning picture. Love this belonging. That is where I belong. This up in this tree, under the moonlight, in the woods. I have a painting by Susan Seddon-Boulay in my woods fae sacred space. That is just me. I lived up in a tree. Literally, this one tree. I was up there reading, sitting all the time, all hours of the day. And so this is, to me, speaks of belonging. So now you can see a color change, right? So hopefully, well, I guess if I zoomed back out, I guess I'll look at that a little bit more when we get out. But I think even just from going from here to here, you can really see that shift in color. And the suits definitely have a tonal color tones to them. So now we're in the creative realm for magic making. So we have that beautiful idea of love at first sight, when everything is blooming and there's a brightness and a lightness, and sunlight motes are sprinkling everywhere. That newness, right? That infatuation with life. Beautiful textures. I love this. Notice and express your how can you capture tactility? Like, what is the feel of the situation? What is the textures and the nuances of a particular situation? Here we have the beautiful symbolism card. Sometimes I feel like, oh, is there something on there? But no, it's just splatter from the paint, which is awesome. Symbolism here is a deeper meaning that hides in the ordinary. I'm working on symbolism for a class I'm teaching for Ethany's Tarot Summer School. Obviously, I was immersed in the idea of symbolism, making my journey tokens. So I've been reading lots of things about the way in which, we have the reason why I think that human beings are so drawn to divination from, in my opinion, the beginning of time of people, is this idea of seeing below the surface of something and seeing what it could symbolize, not just what it is. So I love that. We have mood painting. How are you feeling, right? Paint your mood. If you were to think about how do you feel about a situation, how would you paint that? Now, of course, I didn't even know this card was in here, but had I known that there was a Thumbelina card, I would have bought this without seeing any other cards, because I love Thumbelina. I think it was one of the first stories that I remember, fairy tales I remember my mom telling me, and Forever After, right? That was the beginning of my connection with fairy and fairies, and making, I can't even tell you how many fairy houses, and making sure there was milk and bread there, and because I have an Irish great grandfather, and I was intrigued by Thumbelina from a very, very young age. And so to have this here, and it's about a change in perspective. Like, what would it look like if you were so tiny in a very big world? And I often say that divination and using, pulling out cards and all kinds of divination is our attempt, I think, to make sense of being very human in a very big world, in a very big universe. And so I love, love, love that card. Beautiful, beautiful fauna. Now, this is interesting because this is about, I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. Of course, did we already see Flora? Yeah, we already saw Flora, so now we have fauna. You can see my pile brain starting to kick into play. So we have Flora, and now we have fauna. The beautiful bird here, to pay attention to the creatures, right, that are around us. Look at this. Naivete. This is the site. Let's see what she says. Naivete is a beginner's mind. So this is that Tao of Pu, like this idea of the uncarved block, right? To have that beginner's mind, to have the Six of Cups energy. Oh, love it. Look at the little porcupine. Play. Beautiful. I would love to go out here and play. Skip, hop, play, climb trees, or step in puddles. Be lighthearted in your walk and your art today. Again, this is intended to be used to inspire your art, inspire a walk that you're going to take, inspire your mind to be engaged in the world around you, as well as obviously those of us who will use it as an oracle. Color, so beautiful. I'm actually working on a handout for color, the meanings of colors and how we react to color. Colors reveal moods, emotions, stories. How can you express this part of your walk creatively? Pay attention to the colors. What are they saying? What are the nuances in colors around you? What is the color of the situation? I think that this is a deck that, in terms of using it as an oracle deck, could really cause you to examine a situation closely, to be able to express what is the situation, what does it mean to you, how is it affecting you, and really start to see those nuances. So here, next we have dusk is a sunset, a twilight, a threshold to darkness. Of course, liminal spaces are always amazing. There is a dawn as well as a dusk. So again, love that pairs setting off like that. Shape. Just love this. Sketch the land like an artist. Find the shape, the contours, the striations. Look at this little monkey holding the ball here. What are the physical edges and boundaries of a situation? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Dream. Look at the rabbit, and it just kind of has that Alice in Wonderland dreamy feel here. This is everything I hoped it was going to be. So that is the creative realm, or the magic making realm. So next we come to the inner realm. And so here we have the beautiful spirit of place, which I think I had out of not realizing it, but I think this was out of whack. But this is the spirit of place. What is the spirit of this place? Oh, look at this card. I've seen this. Obviously, I follow her on Instagram, so I've seen a lot of these. Enchantment. Reflect on all that enchants you in your outer world. What does it reveal about your spirit? So again, also, this is very much, this inner realm very much feels like liminal spaces and a walk in the woods. Look at the woods card. I mean, it's stunning. Stunning cards. Intuition. Portals. That was, I think, the one that was at the front. They were a little bit out of whack at first, but we talked about this one. Stunning. Then we have the moon, and I know that we also have the sun, so I, again, love that duality. This is a stunning, just look at this. I mean, just that bit of color and that bit of a swoop of a line, and it's the moon. Like, you don't have to really have a detailed picture of the moon, and it speaks the moon. Gorgeous. Love this home card here. What places feel like home and why? And so this is really speaking of home as in a place. Now, I think there was that one of belonging, and that's a little bit different, like a place of belonging and feeling like you belong. But a home is a space in which you feel this is your space. Love that. Oh, look at the wonder. That's a sea. Looks like a sea turtle to me. It's a marveling, she says. Listen. This is stunning card of darkness, and I love the light border here that really makes the darkness pop out so strongly. Oh, I love this. I mean, the minute I saw one of these cards, I was like, I have to have that. And then it was out of print, and I just lived vicariously through any images that I could find. And so I am so excited to have this in my hands. This is fog as a feeling and as an atmosphere. Of course, it can also be not being able to see clearly. Oh, look at the octopus. I think this is one of the newer cards. I don't know what all of the new cards are because obviously I don't have the first edition, but there are new cards in this. I feel like this might be one of those. The edges of a place. You know, octopus, I love this, like it's in sort of a cave, and you have the land here and then going out to sea, but also this idea of octopuses are so good at feeling out their edges and fitting into and squeezing into the spaces, the boundaries that they have. That's gorgeous. So then we shift, and you can see that again the color tone shift over into the influence realm. This says the secret garden, things maybe that influence us, like the amazing sun. Poetry definitely influences me. Be figurative, be symbolic, be lyrical. The journey. Past and present intersect in this place. Love it. Study, examine, explore, analyze with intention. Pretend. Play dress up. Slip on an alternate lens. See this in a different way. Pretend that you're the other side of the situation. You know, how can you make believe and use your power of playing pretend that we all have inherently within us from childhood to be able to view the situation differently. Oh, yes. Connect. Oh. Follow the rabbit. I love that. Follow the clues. What is that little thing that you can pick out? A little thread that you can find and follow. Immersion. Really sinking into something. You can feel that in that image. The discernment card I showed you was at the bottom, but stunning. Love this card. A, it's got a wolf in it, and B, it's just stunning. Beautiful Dawn card. Like, this is one of my favorites. I mean, they're all my favorites, but this is definitely one of my favorites. So let me see if I can find the Dusk card real quick. I think it's in this set, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I would be wrong. Oh, here it is. I just flipped over and thinking I was done. So we have Dusk and Dawn, very different color tones and qualities. That feeling of freshness and beginning and brightness, and then the sinking into the warm glows. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Dawn card. Hidden. What's hidden here? What's missing that you're not seeing? And memory. This is a absolutely stunning deck. Does not disappoint whatsoever. Let me zoom out. So let's see if we can see before I try to shuffle them. So you can see this kind of greens and blues tones here that give way to these more pink tones. That's the other one. These more pink tones here. And then it goes into more deeper tones of blues. And this is kind of similar here, but it definitely is different. And then going into the warmer tones here. So you can really see, I think, the tonality of the suits in, I think, an absolutely beautiful way. I actually find, this again, I don't think her intention here is to straight up, oracle deck this, but I believe that what she gives you here and the questions that she asks, combined with just the title of the card, this is very easy to take this as an inspiration for how you would read with this as an oracle, which I think is really, really awesome. I'm just going to take a quick picture for the thumbnail and then we'll give it a shuffle. Okay. Very important, because I usually will forget till I'm already over there editing. I'm like, oh, dang it, I need to go now put everything back out so I can take a picture for the thumbnail. Okay, so I think you can see the tonality there. Let's give this a shuffle. Definitely have to do something to the edges, but I don't think I want to have a dark line. This is a very dark backing, and I don't think I want to create a line on the front, so I'm really leaning towards the gold, the matte gold that I use in a lot of decks. I think that would work really well with this deck. So let's give it a shuffle though. Really nice. It's got a really beautiful shuffle. Sometimes they can be the silky matte and they can feel a little bit sticky. These do not feel sticky. They slide back in really well. I love the silky matte, but there are times in which it can be a little bit awkward to shuffle. Let's see. And usually that, this feels better. It still clumps a little bit, but that's normal at the beginning. And yeah, this is nice. I really like this cardstock. It's like all the perfectness of this silky matteness and none of the real downsides of, you kind of have to really struggle to get the cards to come back together and really clumpy overhand. So this, yeah, she definitely did an amazing job picking out the cardstock. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's just see here. There's no well, let me look at the beginning part just to make sure. I don't think she ever really talks of this in terms of a spread. Shuffle the whole deck as you would any tarot, oracle, or game card. Spread it out face down and select a card at random. Turn it face up and use it to inspire the day's wonder walk. If you pull the floor card, set out on your adventure and look for clovers or wildflower details. So yeah, so let's just first kind of, I guess we should first do it the way she would intend it. So, you know, you would spread out your card or pull your card however you're going to pull a card. And so then the rest of your day you spend focusing on the idea of discernment. Or as she said, if you were to pull study, you know, really study the world around you. If you were to pull color, really pay attention to colors that day. What are the colors that you're seeing? Listen to your intuition. Very much like a card of a day, right? But if it's like physically do these things in your physical walking and interacting with the world. So she has that. For seasoned explorers, divide the deck into 4 suits, which I'm not going to do because I already took them out. And it looks like you can go to the website for a downloadable map of the 4 suits. And there's some in-depth videos on creative ways to use the deck. Place the 4 suits in groups face down and randomly select a card from 2 suits to inspire a creative project or adventure. So, you know, for example, if you were going to be making something creative, then you might want to pull from the magic making realm. If you're going to be doing some work internally, maybe pulling from the internal realm. If you're going to go out on a physical walk, maybe picking from the physical realm, right? I probably wouldn't do that just because I don't really want to put things back together like that. And I think any card you pull could influence any of those areas regardless. So, you know, if I was going to pull for inspiration on a painting, it wouldn't matter what card I pulled, it would, you know, provide some inspiration. Okay, so let's go back to using it as an oracle deck just to see. So I'm going to pull, oh, my light just, I think the electricity actually just flicked real quick. It's been stormed all night, and it's been rainy, but it's not raining right this moment. We shall see. So we have poetry for the first card, and I'll zoom in just a second. We have hidden in the second card. I really like the landscape a lot. And then the bottom card, sorry. Follow the rabbit. That's so interesting. Okay, so let me put these to the side and make sure they're right side up. You can really see how these work together. So there's a couple things that we can do here, and obviously the more that you get used to the deck, there we go, you can look and skim and see, okay, well, what, and she does give you this, let's see, right here, where she kind of has them compactly listed. And so you could figure out the realms too and see how that influences the card, or the reading. So for example, we have one more, there we go. Poetry is the influence realm. And then we have, what do we have? We have hidden, which is also in the influence or the secret garden realm. And then we have follow the rabbit, which is also in them. And I did shuffle these. Obviously, they'll get more and more shuffled as they go, but I riffle shuffled those a number of times. We have them all from the influence realm. So then you could think about, like, what does that, so this is talking about cards that invite us to explore in more depth everything that influences our intellect and our creativity. So what are the things, how could you be being influenced, and how could you allow yourself to be influenced? Because all of them are from the one place, we could hone in on that. Of course, then we can go into the individual cards themselves and look at the idea of poetry and how poetry is about those feelings and how those feelings express themselves, right? So we're talking about expressing ourselves about those things that are hidden that we may not be paying attention to, that may not be at the forefront, but underneath it all, we need to emotionally express the things that are hidden right now, and to find that little clue because it's hidden, right? Find that, what is it maybe that is influencing your emotions, that is influencing your emotional energy today, or in a particular situation, what's below the surface? You might be feeling all these emotions, but what's below the surface of what's actually at heart here, and kind of find that little rabbit, right? Find that little, oops, there's that again, find that little thread in the web and pull it and follow it, so that you could really get to the heart of the matter. And this is what, in general, I think this 3 cards would be saying is, in order to express your emotions, in order to put those out there, you're going to have to go deeper. You're going to have to follow that rabbit. You're going to have to follow that little trail. It's going to take a little work to find it, but then run and follow. Run behind that rabbit and follow it, and really figure out what's at heart and what's going on with your emotions in this particular situation, or just in general if you're pulling it for a reading. So that's beautiful, right? Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, let's just pull another one again just to get a feel for it. And they really are rippling well, so I'm surprised that I got students to see that. They're really riffling together well. So here we have the first card of naivete. This is again that 6 of Cups, that how can you open up your eyes and see the world or situation with a sense of wonder again, that we might get jaded, we might get bitter, we might get shield ourselves so tightly that we are pulling ourselves away from the hidden again. Apparently I have some things below the surface that need to be worked with. I love this though, right? Because here we have this beautiful sense of being open to the world, which is very difficult when there are things hidden beneath the surface, right? But you can also look at this as being open to finding, to going out, and it's like going on a treasure hunt, right? When you're a child, that was something that we really enjoyed as a child, to say, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to search for, if you were me, I'm going to go literally search for the treasure from Treasure Island, and I'm going to go out on an adventure, and I'm going to be picking up sticks and looking under rocks, and I'm exploring life and looking for what things are hidden. But then having the landmark here, it says this is what orients us, right? Think about the story of like a pirate's treasure. X marks the spot. I just love this. Like, this is awesome. This idea of going out, being open, going and being willing to search for and look for the beauty in life, the joy in life. Sometimes it's not right there, right? Sometimes we do have to go out and look for it, be open, and be have that soft gaze that I think about with meditation. I don't know if that's actually the term, but it's something I work on a lot. And I use it a lot in divination too, of just relaxing the gaze. So you almost let your body and your eyes go soft so that you're not paying close attention. You're relaxing in, but you're still aware and seeing. But you can pick up on symbols and things a lot easier that way. If you're sitting outside on a blanket in the woods, and you put that kind of soft gaze and just let things kind of move and colors shift, there's a beautiful energy to that. So that idea of sort of relaxing your gaze is beautiful. But this, for me, I'm sorry, I'm rambling off track. This idea here of being open to the wonder and the joy of life, but the understanding that you do sometimes have to go out and find it. Look for that landmark, and move towards X as a spot to find that gold under the treasure map. That's, now I'm stuck on that whole going off on a scavenger hunt or a treasure hunt here. And it's sometimes our wonder and our joy and our excitement for life, sometimes we do have to go out and look for it, because it's not always right there readily available. This is beautiful. I'm really excited to work with this deck. I knew I was going to be. Again, this was not a deck that I had any question that I would love, and this certainly does not disappoint me. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. Again, I will put a link. I know that there is a pre-order button there now, so I'm assuming that once the Kickstarter orders are shipped and everything, that she will be putting those pre-orders then out. So I will put a link below, and as well as, there was something else I was going to put a link to. Oh, I'm going to put her Instagram name, just because I think you should follow her. If you're an Instagram person, her Instagram feed is just absolutely gorgeous. So that's what I was going to do. All right, there you go. Have an absolutely wonderful day. I'm going to go play with these.